Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Jamie the Crafty DIY Guy. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm super excited to bring you all kinds of great fall DIYs. I would say that these are even starting to lean into the Halloween season just a little bit. For me, fall is very kind of transitional when it comes to fall to Halloween. I don't typically do a lot of like crazy, scary Halloween stuff. I try to keep it I try to keep it cute. And the stuff that I'm going to be showing you in today's video definitely has a fall twist to it. But it's got lots of oranges in it as well. And in particular, there'll be a special little orange surprise at the end. And this video is just kind of showcasing some really fun, beautiful, easy DIYs. And it's kind of creating like an entire tablescape that you can do, and you can put this on your coffee table. You could put this in your kitchen, bathroom, if your bathroom's big enough. Mine is not. But before we jump into all those projects, I do want to, of course, say thank you to my subscribers. You guys know who you are. If you are one of my original gang, my original followers, I call you guys my OGs. Thank you so much for being here. And if you're brand new to the channel, maybe even YouTube just recommended this video to you, thank you, YouTube, of course. And thank you for being here, and I hope that you enjoy all of these projects. All right, guys, stay to the end and let me know what your favorite project was, and let's get started. All right, everyone, and for project number one, we're going to take a sheet of this peat moss, or this moss that I picked up from Dollar Tree, and also one of these birdhouses. Now, my moss sheet here is a little bit shorter than normal, but I trimmed it down, so I used it for another project. Take some of your hot glue and add a fairly generous amount of hot glue to your metal sign here, or your metal birdhouse. And you're going to want to do this fairly quickly, so make sure that your sheet moss piece is kind of already about the same size as your project, kind of like I had here. Totally just lucked up here, by the way. I used some moss for another project, and this was what was left over. So once everything is dried, you're going to have something that kind of looks like this. Flip it over on the back side, and then just grab a pair of scissors and start to trim it away. And you are just going to kind of reshape your metal birdhouse. And I'm going to do this with a very long pair of scissors. I would recommend maybe going with a smaller pair, because as you'll see here, when I started to trim down onto those edges there, where the, I guess the eave of the house is, it was a little awkward getting my scissors in there. But never fail, I did manage to figure it out and get it all trimmed out. Now that it's all trimmed out, I am going to start working on that centerpiece. And to do that, I'm just going to poke a hole in the middle and then just cut some kind of lines towards the center or the edges of the circle there, and then just go around with my extra large scissors once again and just cut out the center piece there. And once that part is all done, then I'm going to take some ribbon. I have this ribbon that I picked up from Hobby Lobby, and I loved the way it looked. I'm just going to tie it in a very, very simple bow and just glue it at the top, and you've got the cutest little accessory for a tiered tray. And speaking of trays, I have this Home Sweet Home tray that I really do like. I picked it up for $3.99 at the 99-cent only store. And I want to make it a little more fallish. So to do that, I'm going to take a sheet of this scrapbook paper. Now, my scrapbook paper happens to be about the same size as the bottom of my tray, which is great. So I'm going to go ahead and just line it up here and make sure that I've got the edges that I don't have any of the edges of that tray falling off of there. And I am going to just take a pen and just trace around the tray with a circle. And then I'm going to take a pair of scissors and just cut it out. I'm going to cut it out to the kind of what I traced around the bottom of the tray. But I will have to end up trimming it up just a little bit more to get it to fit within the circle itself. So once you've got that part done, you have a couple options here. You could make this permanent, or you could make it not permanent. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. But the cool thing about this technique is that you can really make your trays kind of work for whatever season. So if you have a favorite tray that you want to use, this is a simple way to just kind of decorate or add that tray or make it a little special. You could use fabric, you could use contact paper if you wanted to even. And I just love the way that this looks, and it's going to be a nice addition to my fall decor. And speaking of all things fall decor, I'm going to make a lantern. I'm going to take one of these snakes. This is that Dollar Tree snake that you can find in Crafter Square, and I cut the head off and I cut the tail off. Now I've got 2 Dollar Tree signs that are about the same size, and then I also grabbed a package of the tall, longer dowel rods from Dollar Tree. Now for my snake, it's not very even right here, and I'm trying to even it out. The scissors weren't really working great, so I'm going to take my Lineman Pliers and I'm just going to snip off some of that extra wood just to try to get that as smooth as possible. And then I'm going to take a very sharp pair of scissors and just kind of go through there and just kind of trim that up and make that edges, or the 2 edges of the snake, as flat as possible so they will stick to the top of the lantern that I'm going to be making here. I know with this idea, I'm not reinventing the wheel here. I know that a lot of us have done these types of lanterns before, but they're so easy to make, and they're also great for decor, especially for fall. There's something about the lanterns that I love. I'm just taking my 2 cardboard sides and I'm going to go ahead and glue the sticks in the 4 corners. Now, I did not trim these sticks down at all. I wanted this to be kind of tall because I've got a very cool plan for the inside of it. So go ahead and just take your hot glue, add your stick in the corner. I kind of roll my stick just a little bit. That way I make sure that I've got glue kind of on all sides of that. And then as you finished your 4, go ahead and let those dry. I do let them set up. The great thing about using hot glue is that they will set up really, really quickly. If you are in a warmer climate, you might want to use like an E6000 or something that is going to be more durable for, being outside. Hot glue will melt. And then I just added the top part of it and created this kind of lantern. Now, I really do love the way this looks. I even like the way it looks, honestly, with the signs that are up there on the top. I think that that's super cute, and you could definitely make something with this. I'm going to take now my handle, which formerly was known as Mr. Snake, and I'm going to do a real awkward camera angle there. What was that? Sorry about that, guys. And then I'm just going to add my snake or my handle right to the top of my lantern, kind of like so. Now I did add a fairly generous amount of the hot glue on either side of this, and I just made sure to hold that in place until it set up nice and firm, and it was going to be it was going to be sturdy. Now, this is not going to be a lantern that, you're going to want to walk around the neighborhood with and, do a Paul Revere kind of thing with it. You're going to want to have this handle be decorative only. So after it's all set up, then I took it outside to spray paint it. I used a Rust-Oleum burnt orange, I think is what this one is called. And I love the way this looks. This is my favorite color to use for fall. I think it's super transitional for not only Halloween, but also for fall decor. And I am going to give this 2 coats. And I did this 2 coats I let it dry. I let it dry really, really good before I did the second coat. That way I was sure to get maximum coverage on everything. There's a lot of little nooks and crannies with this, and you want to make sure that you're getting all of those pieces and wood pieces and interiors and exteriors and all that jazz painted and covered and looking nice and orange and beautiful. And then for this next part, it is all dry and beautiful and ready to go. I have some Dollar Tree floral picks here. I love floral picks. They are my absolute new favorite thing to work with. You can use them for so many things, but because I've only got 2, I also grabbed some of this extra greenery that I had from my stash. Now, for my clippers here, these are Lineman Pliers. I use this tool probably more than anything. Also, I've got some height here, so I'm going to take one of these Dollar Tree candle holders. Now, if I could find an all white one, I probably would have done that. I thought about spray painting it, but honestly, I'm not going to have to. I'm going to cover it up. This is a battery-operated tea light that is also from Dollar Tree. It's not a tea light. It's a pillar candle that's also from Dollar Tree, and I love the height that is in there. Now, for the floral picks, all we're going to do is just take those and just kind of start bending them. I'm bending them really so they can wrap around the candle base and, kind of fluffing up the flowers and the pine cones and the leaves and the little berries and everything that you see. And then all I'm going to do is just literally take it and just place it around the candle holder, kind of like so. That's why I was saying like that navy blue base that you saw. It doesn't really matter because you're not going to see it when it's all done. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the other pick as well. And I'm just going to bend it again, kind of putting it on the opposite side of the other candle holder, playing around with those leaves and pine cones and the pumpkins and the berry things and, fluffing it up a little bit. But because I've only got 2 picks here, it's not going to be enough. That's where the other florals and other pumpkins come in. If you want to recreate this, I would recommend maybe getting 4 picks if you could. You could probably get away with doing it with 3 picks, but I really like the way that the 4 picks or the fullness of it all really looks when it's all done. So now we're going to go rapid fire here and speed this up. And again, I'm just adding in some different florals. I'm using my Lineman Pliers there because you can clip through those wires so easily. And I'm just kind of taking various size stems and playing around with it and, plucking a pumpkin off and playing around with some leaves and just kind of filling in the gaps in the areas there. And you'll see that I'll also take these orange flowers. By the way, watch this action. Take all your leaves, push it forward, get them out of your way, take your Lineman Pliers, bam, 1 cut, everything is done. I'm telling you, those are the best tools to have in your DIY arsenal. Now, here's where I'm kind of taking those orange flowers and kind of mixing them in around with the picks and other things, just to give everything a very cohesive look. I don't want it to just have the one, full picks on the one sides and then have it kind of be looking kind of empty and scraggly on the other side. So once this is all done, this is how the lantern looks. I think this is so cute. I love the way this looks. And when you add it to a tray, like the tray that we made, and you add your birdhouse and some other little accessories. By the way, don't you love that little tiny scale? I got that from a friend of mine that is in Canada. She sent me a little surprise gift package, and this was one of the things in there, and I love this scale so much. I'm going to be able to use it on my trays and tiered trays, and I was just thrilled with it. So you know who you are. Thank you very much for sending me that. I appreciate it. I think this is the best part about this video today. You've literally got everything that you need to create an entire fall piece of decor. This is something that you could put on your coffee table. You could put this in your kitchen. It could go on a coffee bar. There's a lot of really cool things that you can do it. And I love the way that this turned out. And by the way, if you were noticing that painting in the background, I moved the lantern over just a little bit to show this off. My little sister, Jeanette, who I call Net, made this for me. And that is Mr. Otis in the background there, looking over the sunset, hanging out under the tree. I love this so much. And check out my sister's Instagram page. She has some really beautiful paintings and some things that she works on that I just love. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed these projects today. If you did, let me know in the comments below which one was your favorite. Also, tell me what is your favorite thing about fall. For me, I love being able to sit out on my front porch in the evenings or in the mornings and just kind of snuggle up with a little blanket and a warm cup of coffee. And I have a little tiny fire pit out on the front porch that I use as well. And I would say that's probably my favorite part of fall. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.